Good evening. Today is November 18, 2025. Welcome to San Marino Unified School District Board of Education meeting, open section. Here's our board president, C. Joseph Chan.
Hi, good evening. Right now it's 7:10 p.m. I'm called to the order for tonight open section. Before we start, so there's one item I need to report. The Board of Education took unanimous action in closed section to approve the settlement agreement for student number 9531. And should I?
You can say unanimously. You are
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay. Six, call to order, Mr. Song.
Present.
Mrs. Lam.
Here.
Mrs. Ryan.
Here.
Mrs. Gear.
Here.
Mr. Chen here. Student board member, Mr. Book. Here. Thank you. 6A, Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Lina Richter to introduce our student who is leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
Thank you, President Chang. This evening, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce a fall student council president from Carver Elementary, an amazing, outstanding fifth grader, Ryan Azar, to lead the board in the salute to the flag this evening and share a little bit about himself and his school and introduce the guests that you have here supporting you this evening. So Ryan, if you would join us at the podium.
Good evening, Superintendent Linda Diela Torre, distinguished board members, and all those in attendance. My name is Ryan Azar, and I'm a fellow fifth grade pioneer at Carver Elementary School. I also happen to be the student council president. Ever since 1947, Carver has stood strong under the long years. From fun activities to diverse classrooms, Carver has everything needed to make a person fall in love with the school. Okay, I have a lot to say, so let's get going. First of all, let's talk about Walk to School Day. Never heard of it? Well, let me tell you. Walk to School Day is where Carver pioneers walk to school instead of driving to school. Taking place on Fridays, Carver pioneers are given a yellow walking school bus card, which they take to specific locations. From there, a group of volunteers and Carver pioneers will start heading towards Carver. Meanwhile, you're walking towards Carver, you have to hand your yellow walking school bus card to the volunteers, which will then stamp the date that you have walked to school on. Also, another really important reason I like Carver is the academics as well as the teachers and staff. All the teachers have a goal to make a difference in our lives. They're exactly what children like me need, a nice, supportive, and caring teacher. Also, the staff help make Carver a shinier and nicer place. From teaching us about all of the wonderful things in the world to cleaning up our school, the teachers and staff do out of their way to make our school awesome. But the biggest advantage that Carver pioneers have is how Carver's on top of everything. From decorating for Red Ribbon Week to holding assemblies about important topics, Carver will never get bored. For example, last Thursday, I had to do a speech in front of all of the school about Veterans Day. They had so many decorations, and they even brought a real veteran to speak to us. But the most important reason I like Carver is my friends. Last year, when my school burnt down in the Altadena fires, Carver accepted me. On the first day of school, I had already made 4 friends. I have grown over the 1 extraordinary year I've been here. I've grown so much in my academics as well as my friendships. Having great teachers, fun classrooms, and awesome activities, those are the reasons that I come to love Carver. Before I leave today, Let us honor our country by doing the Pledge of Allegiance together. Please stand up quietly and respectfully. Face the flag. Take off all hoods or hats. Put the right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Wow. Great job. Wait.
Oh, Ryan, I'd like you to introduce both of your parents or anything that has happened.
So this is my mom, me. This is my dad here.
When you come up and join your son, we're gonna get a photograph. And Ryan, I have to tell you how blessed I am with your speaking ability. You are extremely articulate, very passionate, and I love enthusiasm when you speak. Thank you for sharing the details about personal situation. Yep. How much you have enjoyed it. And you are the president, right? That is very impressive. And I love your suit. You're very business-like. So I'd like to shake your hand, young man, and present you with a certificate of appreciation for leading us to the Pledge of Allegiance and being here and speaking so beautifully about your school. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Can we get the principal and assistant principal in here as well? Yes, you see the two.
I'm gonna go down. No.
Here, just a little bit more. So let's get close. There we go. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You must be amazing and being friends since you got voted as city council president. And I was there for one semester. One semester. Yeah. That is amazing. So 4 friends in 1 day. So wait till you have that many pictures.
I'll go with one and then.
Okay, you absolutely need to be a politician.
Great job.
Four friends a day in a month, you know them all.
Yeah, right? Love it.
From 0 to all.
From 0 to all.
Yeah.
At least a majority.
For sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye, have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, let's continue. 6B, approve of agenda. Before we approve the agenda, it's recommended that the action item 11F be removed from the tonight's agenda and brought back at the future meeting for approval. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the removal of action item 11F?
Move to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song.
Aye.
Mrs. Lam.
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Mrs. Gear.
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye. And the student board member Book. Motion carry. 6C, approve of minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the October 28, 2025 board Education meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Who second?
No,
Uh,
Shelley.
Sherry? Huh?
Shall I
Oh,
second?
okay. Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, I, and the student board member book. Thank you. Motion carried. 7, public comment. The Board of Education has adopted Board Policy 9323B to ensure the public's right to be heard in any matter pertaining to the San Marino Unified School District. Persons who wish to provide public comment will have 3 options to submit the public comment. First, submit through an online form. If we have any submission via the online form? Okay. Second, request to speak during the meeting via the Zoom. Mr. Chen, please pause the meeting for 1 minute to collect the public comment.
President Chen, we have no online attendee raise hand for a comment.
Okay, thank you. Third, request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. Do we have any submission via the public comment card?
We have no submissions this evening.
Okay, thank you. We conclude for the public comment section. Next, A, consent section. Do I have a motion to approve the consent section AA to AH?
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam, Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mr. Chen. Yeah, I, and the student board member book. Motion carry. 9, communication section. A, communication from the Board of Education. We ask each board member take no more than the 3 minutes to share their communication. Start from the Mr. Song.
Thank you, President Chang. I got a first chance to visit the high school, the open house showcases, and it was quite amazing that a lot of different clubs and activities they open up the booths and they showing that their diversity and varieties and what they doing, the passions about it, and it was kind of stunning. And my kid is in middle school, and I'm getting excited that they're gonna eventually go to high school and join one of those clubs. And I even bumped into the Mr. Brook. It was nice meeting him, and it was a good event. And I also spent some time in AI committee that I've been doing that with the teachers and students and parents and district officers. And Mr. Kwok was leading that AI committees. And it's I see the good thing is there's a lot of the inputs coming out and they start to think about it and realize that this is actually coming much closer than you think and change it faster than you think. The problem is I have feeling that we don't have enough time to spend yet. So I'm probably gonna keep figure out how we're gonna spend more time with the teachers, and if the teachers want, I can probably go to campus or something. But we probably need to figure out those kind of issues as well. This is kind of new challenging for our, not just our school, I guess the entire parents and everybody too. So that's what I spent in the last few weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mrs. Lam.
I have nothing to report.
Next, Mrs. Ryan.
All right, so I had the opportunity of seeing the PTA Reflection Showcase at Carver, and that was really well attended. And the students were awarded for various categories in VAPA, and just very talented students throughout our district. So that was very nice. And most of cabinet and the board attended. Mid-Autumn Festival at the Sheraton was fun. The singer, right, with all his love songs, just regaled us with just he had a really good voice, and so I don't know how we managed to get him because he sounds almost international, right? So yes, in Italian, the love songs and all of that. So he must have studied abroad. Anyways, with daylight savings, I'm hoping, and this is a question, I'm hoping that we didn't sustain any water damage with all of the rain, despite the fact that we needed the rain. I'm just checking, right, with all of our,
Pretty much shape this time around than we were last year. CJ might have some more information on that, but I didn't hear of any substantial leaks or concerns or problems this year.
okay, thank you. That was not my time. Dr. Delatorre was speaking, President Chang, because he was looking at me, like, okay. Anyways, lots to do around the community. I know the holidays are coming up, and tonight we're missing the Rose Court, right? And so that's hosted by the City Club. All right,
Okay.
Mrs. Gill, because
next,
Mr. Chang's
Miss Gill.
staring at me. Yeah.
Thank you. So I also attended the showcase. I thought the high school did a great job with the format beginning in the auditorium. It's really nice to have people all listening and be able to see the BAPA performances and then go off to the various directions. It was really fun actually to interact directly with the clubs that the students, they had tables and they were telling us all about their various like activities and their topics. So it was really great. I attended a Measure M update meeting with Dr. De La Torre and Nolan Consulting Services and with President Chang, which we will get a update later in the meeting. So continuing to make progress. Dr. Choi is doing so much work. It's really impressive, actually. It doesn't show yet, besides to behind the scenes, but it's going to soon. I attended the play She Kills Monsters by the drama department at the high school, and it was really well done. Our students are so talented, and can't wait to see the one in the spring. And then going forward, we are going to be attending CSBA, which is the California School Board Association conference in Sacramento the first week of December. So I look forward to reporting out on the various sessions that we attend as board members. And to end it, I would just like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and that I'm thankful for each and every one of you and how much dedication you have to the students of our district. So thank you.
Thank you. November 1st, I attend the Chinese Club San Marino MAF party. Thank you for Dr. Territory. I heard the live auction make a lot of money. So I hope that they can pay back to the school district. And then I also attend the PTA council meeting and also San Marino High School showcase. But I have a suggestion for the next year. Some of the booths without enough lighting, look very dark. Yeah.
More lights.
I heard
More
more
lights.
lighting, and I heard that some students feel they should have equal lighting support, yeah.
Sure,
So
Dr.
they can
Kinsel.
promote
Sure.
the club, yeah. Then the last Saturday, I attended a memorial service. You know the Margie Terrian. Margie actually is our past school board member, Sherman Terrian, the wife. So Sherman Terrian actually served as a school board president in 1969 to 1970, and also second time in 1974 to 1975. So when I went there, I see the most of the people I know in the late 90 and the early the 20. So I haven't seen them for a long time. Yeah, for all the friends. Yeah, that they just get together in the memorial service. And actually, the Margie is our past school board member, Scott Jenkins, the mother-in-law. Yeah, so I think they have the big connection in this community. Besides that, yesterday I attended the Huntington Library Education Committee. They are present about the youth and family program. I feel for the youth program, especially they talk about how they select for the teenager volunteer. So there is a slide the pop out. I see the San Marino High School is they have the bigger mean we have a more the volunteer participate that program. I see some of committee member they feel they are represented. They are represented the area doesn't have enough the volunteer there. But I don't want to argue. But after meeting over, I share with a couple of trustees. I said, you guys need to understand, San Marino High School, without volunteer hour, they cannot graduate. So, and also we are pay attention about the 4A. The 4A means besides athletic, academic, and arts, we also pay attention about activity. So that's the reason, our students, they're looking for any opportunity to serve as a volunteer. Yeah, I'm glad, our students, they get a niche, to get a chance to volunteer in the Huntington Library. That's the report I have. Next, communication from the student board member.
Good evening, members of the board. I'm pleased to share some exciting events in and around our district. November 6th, San Marino High School hosted its annual showcase from 6 to 8 p.m. It was a wonderful opportunity for students to present their achievements and for families to connect with their high school programs. The following week, from November 13th to the 15th, the high school's fall play took the stage, featuring the hard work and creative talents of our theater students. Meanwhile, at our elementary level, we're gearing up for the start of the book fair on November 18th, creating a joyful space to spark love for reading and welcome families into our school. These events reflect the diverse and vibrant opportunities we offer across all grade levels, celebrating student growth and engagement.
Thank you. See communication from the superintendent, Dr. Territory.
Thank you, President Chang, members of the board, student board, and executive team. The class of 1956, which happens to be the first graduating class of San Marino High School, is about to celebrate their 70th anniversary of having graduated from San Marino High School. So this is an event that I think is very special for those that will be participating. And we may, talk about how the district can support that or contribute to the recognition of those individuals. I know that the San Marino High School Alumni Association is looking at recognizing them during their upcoming Hall of Fame event, which will take place not this calendar year, but next calendar year, which I think is very special. And I just wanted to make the board aware of that. I'd also like to take this opportunity to just briefly update the Board of Education on a matter that has unfolded over the past several weeks regarding a series of unexpected charges from the city of San Marino. Last Friday, Dr. Choi, our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, and I were able to meet with the city manager, Mr. Iskandar, to discuss the recently received sewer service bill that was issued to the district. We explained to Mr. Iskandar that this $50,000 bill was not anticipated, expected, nor was it budgeted during this fiscal year, as we had no prior indication that the district would be charged for sewer services. We were not aware of this at all. In reviewing the city's consultant report, which I believe is approximately 90 pages, Dr. Choi noted that public schools are not listed as a category in this report that would be subject to sewer charges, while private schools are specifically referenced in this report. Public schools are not. However, they did list the names of our schools within that report. But this discrepancy raised some concerns about the basis for the charge and whether it is intended to apply to public school districts. We also reached out to some other school districts, some who were paying sewer charges and some who were not paying sewer charges. This sewer bill represents the fourth unanticipated city-imposed cost to the school district this year, so in a single year. I want to briefly outline the cumulative impact so the board and the community are fully informed. Proposition A funding, which is specifically intended to fund transportation services, is given to cities and for decades, or not decades, Prop A, for many, many years, I will say, that the high school has received $150,000 in Prop A funds to support student transportation and busing services. And this was given to the school district by the city because the city did not have transportation services that they were providing, which we were very grateful for and put to good use. So this year we were notified that that money would be spent by the city instead on crossing guard services and no longer given to the school district for transportation services. So the school district did need to go into its reserves to be able to fund the $150,000 plus charge that we spend on student transportation for this year. And the school district will need to evaluate what funding would be available, if any, to support that in the succeeding years. For decades, the city has covered the cost of trash services for our school district. This year, we were informed that the city may no longer subsidize the cost of trash services for San Marino Unified School District, resulting in another $150,000 of unplanned cost to the district. In addition to that, for the first time ever, we were unexpectedly billed $1,600 for our annual homecoming parade. We're very grateful to the board members who advocated that we get that fee waived, and the city council members who were very supportive and did in fact waive that fee. But that was another bill that we've never received in the past. We've always collaborated on the homecoming parade and included members of city council to be participating in the parade as well. So now that brings me to the final invoice that we've received for sewer fees in the amount of $50,000, as I mentioned earlier on. We received this invoice in November, and we requested recently through Dr. Choi's office an extension to be able to spend some time consulting with our council on whether or not this should apply to public schools, whether or not there's any appeals process, if we can, discuss the fact that the school district isn't in session 365 days out of the year. Our kids are on campus 180 days of the year. Is there a way that we could talk about prorating the bill? There's all kinds of ways that we can approach this. But we're not even convinced that it should be applicable to a public entity. There was a paragraph in one of the reports that indicated that if you are a governmental agency providing services to members of the public, that you would not be subject to the fee necessarily. And we are a governmental agency, and we are providing a service to the members of the public as a public school education institution. This invoice said that it must be paid by November 20th. We asked for an extension so that we could have time to really vet this and investigate whether or not there's going to be any possible way we can either appeal or get some latitude on this fee. The city manager sent us a letter this morning saying that he is not at liberty to extend this. And earlier on, he did mention that the district would be paying penalties and interest if the amount is not paid in full by November 20th. So we're just a little taken aback by that, because we've always been able to work together and cooperate and support each other. And at this point, really, we're just asking for some time to do research on this matter. And it doesn't appear as though the city is willing to give us any leeway on that. The bottom line is the impact on our school district is across these four items, the district is now facing $300,000 in unbudgeted expenses within a single year. And these are costs that are likely going to need to be covered with one-time reserve funds, which is not a sustainable practice going into the future. It is a little perplexing, since we rely very heavily on local sources of revenue. Our school district is one of the lowest funded in the entire state of California, as the board is aware. And we rely on 30% of our revenue coming from two parcel taxes, the schools foundation and the PTAs. And the state really only funds 70% of what it costs us to run our school district, and to be able to provide the outstanding, excellent education that our parents who move to this community expect and our students deserve. So I just bring this to the Board of Education for your awareness, because it is something that we're going to continue to work on. And if the board has any direction, I would very much appreciate hearing from you on that.
That's it?
That's it on that issue.
You have other?
Well, I could tell you that I met with my Superintendent Student Advisory Council this past week, and I've got about 28 students ranging from 9th grade through 12th grade who took a survey that was based on school connectedness, belonging, wellness, what they think about our curriculum and what they think about our grading practices, our facilities. And it was very interesting to go through their responses, which I will be sharing with the Board of Education, because I think it's very informative for us to know what our students are thinking and feeling and experiencing as consumers of the education that we're providing. And it was very enlightening. And they are so refreshingly honest in their responses. And I really did appreciate that. So that's exciting.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's
Sorry, President Chang, Dr. Delatorre.
Yes.
What are the ramifications if we miss the deadline regarding the fees that were, I don't even know the due date. What's the due date?
So the due date on the invoice was November 20th.
That's like
That's this
in
week.
Friday.
Thursday.
Thursday. That's 2 days. And so what's the penalty? I'm not clear on that.
I understood it to be a financial penalty, but it was not explained to us.
Is it on the invoice usually?
I don't
think it is.
I don't think so. We asked about that. And we asked if it was negotiable and, the answer was no. Dr. Choi asked if there was any way that, as a governmental agency, we could get a discount. And he said, no. And it's a matter of law. This is all fixed in Prop 218, as a matter of law that he has no authority as city manager to be able to negotiate anything other than what the council approved, which was the $50,000 fee.
Do you know when do we get the invoice?
I don't know the exact date, Dr. Choi would, but I want to say that it was the beginning of November.
Beginning of November.
Yeah.
So it's not even 30 days.
I don't think we've had it for 30 days. I think that it might have been processed, but we didn't receive it.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 days in advance. But Dr. Choi could give you the exact date that it was received.
Yeah, but oftentimes I find that the administrative side versus the governance side is not really clear on what's going on. So I'm wondering if we would be able to reach out to the governance side and actually talk a little bit about that. I just want to bring the two governance teams together and to see. So I don't know how the board feels about that, but I think, Rowan, what do you think? We're getting hit on all these bills and,
Yeah.
what?
I'm not envious of your guys' situation. How will that affect students?
Well, it's going to affect students because this year we were able to pull money out of our reserves to pay for transportation. And all of the buses that transport kids to special events or to the Huntington or to athletic events, that we're going to have to find funding for. So I know that in years past, we had to ask parents to pay for busing and transportation. So it could affect parents basically having to fund that if we can't come up with another source of revenue to fill that need.
Oh, you can walk there.
I have a question just when we're talking about all these unexpected fees. I know we discussed the election fee. Did we bring that
Yeah.
to?
I did mention to the city manager that we just received a bill for $668,000 for the Measure R parcel tax renewal. And I was shocked in receiving that bill. And I've been working with the Registrar Recorder's Office to try and see if there's anything that we can do on that bill. I've asked them to give me an itemized bill. And they gave me an itemized bill, but they still had a very large, substantial charge that was sort of lumped into one category that I asked them to break out for me. They did that just before this meeting.
Oh.
And so I do have that information, but I still have lots of questions about what it means.
Because if I'm not mistaken, that's about half the amount of revenue that we would receive in 1 year, which
That's
is
correct.
half the amount of teachers that it funds.
Yes.
So that's coming from our reserves as
That's
well.
gonna have to come from
General.
reserves.
Yeah,
So
general.
that's $1 million that was not budgeted. If you add those two totals together, over $1 million that was not budgeted this year, that will need to come from our one-time reserves. And as I mentioned, one-time reserves are not recurring. Once they're spent, they're forever gone. We're never going to get that back. And so it's very easy to spend down that one-time savings that could be used for facilities later on. I worry about, running out of bond money. And I know this is early to worry about that, but I guess it's just, having experienced that and listening to other school districts, if the cost of construction continues to go up, the demand for construction, goes up because of all the fires and communities that need to be rebuilt and so forth and so on, then we could be looking at needing to tap into our one-time monies to finish a project as an example. So that's, detrimental.
Yeah.
And the programs
But-
that we provide.
Yeah, I'm just troubled by what you brought to our attention regarding these fees that were not anticipated, because as a governance team, we're charged. We took an oath of office to make sure we are ensuring that the taxpayer dollars are going to our students. We are not like, frivolously, oh, let's do this. So if we don't ask the right questions regarding all of these fees will be recurring. So the one-time money is not going to be able to cover it for much longer. So every year we need to come up with this. And so we need to have some sort of coming together in terms of some sort of understanding, because the children are all ours, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether they're throwing trash at their home, which their parents are paying for, or they're at the school, so then maybe we should just have sacked lunches. They can't have any trash or something, you can't.
Take the trash
Yeah,
home.
you got to take your trash home because now we have to pay, so so she's got 2 kids. Well, your 2 kids need, well, because you're already paying for your trash at home, have them bring home the trash. What do you think?
You
I'm-
just did
I'm
that in
on
the
board
Boy
with
Scout
that.
camp. I just did a Boy Scout camp and we
Yes,
got rid of the-
yes. No, but after the trash, then the sewage situation. And so, I asked them early on, I was saying to, I don't know, I can't remember which council member, but I said, um, let's not have any surprises. They don't like it if we surprise them. Could you let us know when we spoke about they wanted to charge us for the homecoming parade? Never heard of that before, that the charge for a parade, which the council participates in. And then finally, when they were talking about that, so I said, just tell us so we can discuss it and at least come to some sort of understanding about all of these fees. I get that, they're looking at their finances, but it's a we, remember? I mean, I think there was a council member that said, we're one city, we're one
Family,
one
one city, one-
family. So I don't understand why all this is coming out. So I'm very concerned because, I take my oath of office very seriously. They asked me to be fiscally responsible. It's one of our board goals, right?
Right,
Is
it
what,
is.
which one is it? Right? And then now it's this.
Yeah.
So,
Maintain and implement fiscal health and responsibility. No.
oh, there it is. Oh, good reading. Okay. There you go.
So, Paul Ryan, you mentioned about we had to deal with the government service. Which government service?
Which governance
you,
person
you,
is what
you want to discuss in next?
Well, right now our mayor is Gretchen, right? So we would have your president, right? I'm just clerk.
Okay, any more question or comment?
Thank
Yeah.
you for bringing.
Thank you, Dr. Gelatorn.
Before we go to the next agenda, I just like to make a comment. Actually, tonight we mentioned about this issue. Actually, for last couple of weeks, we are very seriously, we try to resolve this issue and get the satisfactory answer from the city. But even we make an effort, but look like so far, I said so far, I think the answer is not really uh, make our goal to to achieve. Yeah, because no matter what, if they have to tax us, then all the money will not go to the student investment. Yeah, so I just like to, in the meantime, thank you for the board, make a participation, think about this issue, and also, the administration also They also make a study and collect the data and then talk to the city. So let's see the what's going on for next 2 days. Yeah, I think tonight the meeting will the conversation will spread out to the through the room, and then the citizen understand and the school community understand what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next 10 information item. 10A Major M update. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Directori and CJ Nolan to update the board on the progress and the current standing of Major M.
Yes, thank you, President Chang, members of the Board of Education, Student Board Member Burke, and executive team. This evening, we have Mr. CJ Noland here to update the Board of Education on Measure M.
Good evening, President Chang, members of the board, Superintendent De La Torre, and community. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to update you guys on Measure M with visuals included this time. For our first phase one major projects at Valentine, Carver, and San Marino High School, we've completed our underground utility detection. Our geotechnical investigations are currently underway and are wrapping up this week. And we are completed with our survey work at both elementary schools, and we are completing some additional survey work at the high school. This week, we've completed our high school user group meeting where we took feedback and are incorporating that into the schematic design. Over at Valentine, our design focus right now is confirming some easement boundaries. We're waiting on a title report so that we can solidify the exact location of the building. Right now, we're looking at two options, one on the east end of the existing playground and one on the west end towards the maintenance yard. Once we have that title report to confirm the easement, we'll be able to make a more educated recommendation for the board. And at Carver, we are finalizing the site plan to include the drop-off for the kindergarten and TK programs. In terms of our early impact projects, we currently have several projects out to bid with bids due on December 3rd. And we anticipate having them available for board approval on December 9th, with construction to occur over the winter break. Now, those projects include the concessions restrooms upgrade and the auditorium fencing at San Marino High School. And also on tonight's agenda, we have a vision screen for the Valentine Elementary School playground. This vision screen will go approximately 700 lineal feet and provide a visual barrier from the adjacent parking lot to the students on the playground over at Valentine Elementary School. And another big one we have on tonight's agenda is our leaseback resolutions. So we have 3 resolutions to establish the qualification criteria for our general contractors. This criteria includes experience requirements, financial thresholds, and our scoring methodologies. The approval of this criteria will allow us to begin soliciting or begin contractor pre-qualification for those larger phase 1 projects. And the last item I wanted to touch on was the synthetic turf and track replacement item. This item was previously on the agenda, but we wanted to pull it to allow some more time for legal counsel to review, and we will have it back on the agenda for December 9th. And I also wanted to dive in on the visual for our medical arts user group meeting. During that meeting, we met with all of the user groups, including media arts, engineering, robotics, and the medical arts programs as well. During this meeting, we did several exercises to identify facility wants, needs, and what's currently not working in their existing spaces. After that introduction meeting and those exercises, we toured each of the classrooms with staff to go over what their current facilities are and what their needs are for their programs. our architect has taken this feedback and he's started to incorporate it into the schematic design. And we also have a digital survey that has been sent out to the high school as well, so that they can incorporate more feedback if they would like to. And on the last slide that I had is the playground modernization. We started to receive some, sorry, not playground modernization, our playground replacement projects at Valentine Elementary School and Carver Elementary School. So we've received all of the proposals for our playgrounds, and we're going to be starting to meet with our elementary school sites to review these options and select which options fit best for each of the campuses. In closing, our major projects and our early impact work is underway, and I'm available for any questions.
Is the synthetic turf only for the high school, like not the others?
The agenda item that was on tonight's agenda was only for the high school. We are looking at incorporating some landscape areas with synthetic turfs in other places in the district, but we haven't finalized that scope yet.
What about the restroom refresh? I saw that.
Yes, so the restroom refresh at San Marino High School is currently out to bid. We have a job walk scheduled on the 24th of next week, and bids are due December 3rd. With that being said, the board meeting will be on December 9th. If that project is approved, we are scheduling it to take place over winter break.
Great. Okay.
For the San Marino High School, the medical art classroom building, is that also including the robotic or not
Yeah,
included?
it's that whole wing.
It's the whole building, and
Yeah.
we met specifically with the robotics teacher. And we've gone over all of the requirements, and we actually have quite a few cool, interesting ideas. And our architect also offered a tour as well. So we're trying to get some dates where we could tour some of the other robotics type projects that they've completed.
What about the screen at Carver for the front wall that we've been discussing? Because if we're getting it for Valentine right now too.
Oh, the vision screen that
Along Huntington.
along Huntington. So as of right now, we were planning to incorporate that into the TK and kindergarten project. If there's a more urgent need, we could separate that scope out and get it priced separately. But we were putting that as part of the larger kindergarten and TK classroom project. I think we were looking to do more of like a wrought iron or a metal fix, where at Valentine we're using a vinyl covering that goes over the chain link fabric. But at Carver, we were talking about doing more of like a perforated metal panel, decorative metal panel type solution.
And this question I have is probably for Dr. Choi, who's not here. I know last meeting we approved the agreement for the roof maintenance, and I was wondering if that was put into use this past week and if how it went, I guess.
I can't.
It's not really your department anymore.
It would be used by the maintenance department, but we did meet today to go over like the urgent roofs, and we are planning, I think the first roofs that we're planning to replace are over an upcoming break at Huntington Middle School, which includes 3 portable classrooms that are in really bad condition. And we're trying to replace that over like a spring break. And then we have some larger scopes at the high school of our really bad roofs that I think primarily consist of, I want to say the 600s, the dance room, and like some of the locker rooms.
But up there, it says that it's going to be done in 2027, 28, right? The roof replacements? Repairs. I know the repairs can be done sooner than that.
Yeah, so right now we're targeting all of the most urgent areas, but full campus replacements like at a Valentine or a Huntington or a Carver will be taking place in the upcoming years.
But the contract that we executed allows us to call for repair when needed. Right?
Immediate repairs within 72 hours, yes.
And that's very helpful, especially when we get rains like we did this past week. I mean, with the atmospheric rivers. It's very helpful to have roofers coming out and helping to make sure that we don't have these massive leaks and flooding and everything that happens as a result.
The contract essentially acts like an extension of our staff where it goes through the work order system and then it goes directly to the contractors to come out and repair the roof.
Yeah, I happened to visit the middle school in the when it's raining and we are pumping out the one of
Yeah,
the
there's
sewers.
It's there.
So I don't know if that sewer system can be.
Yeah, we have been taking a look at that, especially this week, because since I have been here, we've heard many stories about the flooding at the middle school.
You
So
can see it for yourself.
so we got to finally see a little bit.
Uh-huh.
We actively met this week to talk about some solutions. So if we can try to put something together, we're hoping to get a solution, at least on paper, ready to present in the next couple weeks or month or so.
I talked about there being a grading problem, right? And there's not enough drains to be
Right.
able to support the rain, and so we need to figure all of that out.
So yeah, there's several solutions, whether we regrade and by regrading, we could route the water to some existing drainage systems that we have, or we can include new like French drain type systems where it doesn't necessarily have to connect to an existing drain, but it can take water, hold it, and let it dissipate into the soil over time.
Uh-oh,
In
trouble just arrived.
Public
So-
comment is over. Just kidding.
So for the playground, do you
Mhm.
think that, I don't know if it's feasible, do we get a chance to at least get some, like, let's say we choose top 3 or whatever, is there a chance that we can present to the kids that they can vote for that and which one they like the most?
So when we meet with the principals of each of the
Uh-huh.
campuses, we usually would let them kind of guide that process. But if it is a board imperative, we can do that. We could suggest it to the sites and carry it out. We do have time. I think the lead time for the playground equipment, we have to place our order by the end of January. So we do have some time to be thoughtful in our selection.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Any more question, comment? If not, thank you for CJ.
Thank you.
Next, 10B, first reading for policy 4119.24, maintaining appropriate adult-student interactions. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Jason Rose to present his first reading.
All right, thank you, President Chang, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, Executive Cabinet, and Student Board Member Burke. Tonight, I present to you a first reading of Board Policy 4119.24, as well later 4219.24 and 4319.24, which encompasses appropriate adult-student interactions. This would be a new board policy. Recently passed legislation, SB 848, adds Education Code 32100 to require school districts, county offices of education, and charter schools to adopt written policies that address appropriate boundaries between adults and pupils and establishes appropriate limitations on out-of-school contact and communications. And this has to be done by July 1 of 2026. The proposed policies are based on the California School Board Association's framework recommendation. There are 3 versions of the policy, this one being the 4100s, which applies to certificated staff. 4200 applies to classified staff, and 4300 applies to management, confidential, and supervisory individuals. The purpose of these policies is to protect the safety and well-being of students by promoting a positive school environment and ensuring trusting relationships between staff and students. These policies do not change our expectation that our employees maintain the highest professional and ethical standards, report any improper conduct they observe, and avoid behaviors that could be seen as inappropriate. In essence, these policies are attempting to clear the gray area that sometimes appears. As one CSBA representative stated, the purpose of this policy is not to inhibit caring relationships that help build students' interest in learning and connectedness to the school, but rather to provide an effective, safe learning environment for students that includes trusting relationships with staff and prevent career-ending, life-altering mistakes by the staff. And I am happy to read through the whole thing with you. Would you like me to, President Chang? Or has the board read it?
I think we can read it on our own.
Okay. With that, I thank you, and I'm happy to field any questions or suggestions for edits that you may have at this time for 4119.
Does this get brought back for a second reading?
Does.
So at that time, we can present any edits, suggestions, etc. Right?
Mhm, if you would like.
Jason, in the policy, is there any provision for the vulnerable students who may not feel connected at the school, may not have a trusted adult, maybe from a home where their parents are, sometimes working long hours? How does the gray area help those students or friends to report when there are relationships that may arise that might border on that fringe gray area?
So the policy does not explicitly state ways that the students are to communicate that. The policy is meant more for the adults for them to avoid being in situations that would be misconceived as something else. So that's what the policy is for. It's not necessarily a how-to for the students, if that makes sense.
But as adults, right, we are the caregivers, we are the adults in the room. How do we help support or perhaps minimize the risks to the students that may be vulnerable to the adults who may not follow?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, that comes into play with we need our employees to, if they see something, to say something, to immediately anything that seems out of the ordinary where a student might be more vulnerable. They need to let us know right away. That would be a part of this policy, is for them to make sure that, so that those students who maybe don't have the social network at their school, who tend to then maybe hang out in a teacher's classroom more often or something like that, and would be more open to maybe grooming behaviors and that type of thing, that we would need our employees to speak up and to say.
And this is something we can get the union to support us in, right? In terms of.
Yeah, there should be no objection to any of these. And there are other districts that have already adopted it as part of their policies. It's just now becoming a mandatory for all of our schools.
And I firmly believe that this is intended to protect students and adults. These policies are basically memorializing what we have in our trainings for adults related to sexual harassment, related to Title IX. As an example, not transporting students in your own private vehicle. There is language in here that I think we need to remove, which it says without prior approval. I don't think there should be approval for that ever. And so we need to take that out and just do not transport students in your own private vehicle, period. There should never be a reason why you would be doing that. And we have, I had that in our coaches training for 20 years. So this policy really is just putting in writing and formalizing what we're already telling our employees what not to do. You should never be alone with a student. You should always have your classroom door open if there's only one student, in there with you.
It also addresses social media.
Right.
About not,
Friending kids.
you shouldn't be friends with students on Instagram and things like that.
Right.
Which I think is needed in today's age.
And we went to Parent Square, where our coaches and our teachers can communicate through Parent Square, where the district has access to all of that information. We're telling teachers and coaches not to use apps where, communications just disappear. What is that called? Snapchat, or is it Snapchat or website? You may know.
Snapchat does disappear, yes.
Okay, so don't use Snapchat. If you're going to communicate with students, it should be on something that we can verify, something that we can read. And really, their communication should be related to the sport, to the classroom instruction. It should not be personal in any way, shape, or form. You shouldn't be going to students' houses. You shouldn't invite kids to your house. It's inappropriate, unprofessional, and puts you in a situation where you can, even if you don't do anything wrong, be accused of something. So that's why we think the association will support it as well. It protects them.
I have a question. I do think there are still going to be gray areas.
Yes.
For instance, before school tutoring sessions provided by teachers, which is very generous of them to provide their own time. If only one student shows up, then they are,
Your door open.
the door, isn't that still alone?
Well, there should be other people on campus walking by. I mean, we just don't have, a student in your classroom with the door closed. And don't do it at a time when there's nobody else on campus, right? Don't do it on a Sunday, in the middle of the day or early morning when nobody else is there except for you. You should always have other adults coming and going. People should be able to walk into your room at any time.
So the open door policy covers that.
And like, for instance, when I would meet with my students, then I sat in the doorway so that,
Could see you.
so people can see. I mean, there's ways to mitigate that.
And are we getting PD on this?
So that'd be part of it. Once, if this gets passed, then yes, we would disseminate this to all the staff so that they are aware. We would put it up on our website, on the Human Resources webpage, so anyone could reference it at any point. And it, like I said, it's already in essence part of our training, but yes, we would remind them all.
Thank you.
Any more comment? Okay. Let's go to the next one. 10C, first reading, Board Policy 4219.24, maintaining appropriate adult-student interaction. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Jensen Rose again.
All right, thank you, President Cheng. 4219 is the exact same policy. This one is now, would be for our classified individuals. The wording would be exactly the same. A lot of times when you have to reference things, as you all know in policies, the 4100s are for certificated, 4200s are for the classified. So this would apply then to our classified individuals. But it would look exactly the same.
Any question, comment? If not, let's go to the,
Did we skip A?
No, it's measure.
that's major.
Oh, I'm on the action. I'm sorry.
Okay, 10D, first reading, Board Policy 4319.24, maintaining appropriate adult-student interaction. Dr. Jason Rose again.
All right, thank you, President Cheng. And once again, 4319.24, this would now apply to our management, our confidential employees, as well as any supervisory volunteers, anything like that. In essence, it's all encompassing for anyone else within our campuses, within our school. Yeah, but it would be the same wording once again. So I've already noticed that there was, we need to edit the numbers. And when it formatted it, it should be 1 through 13 on all the pages, and it went 14 through 26 and then 27 through 39. So we have to fix that.
Any question, comment? Okay, if not, we finish the information section. So let's go to the 11 action item. 11A, I would like to turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Directori to present the notice for the annual organizational meeting.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
President Chang, members of the board, Student Board Member Burke, and executive team. Pursuant to Education Code Section 35143, the Board of Trustees, or the Board of Education in this case, of each school district shall hold an annual organizational meeting. The board shall notify the county superintendent of schools of the day and time selected, which is why we have it before you this evening. We have selected that date as Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. In order to comply with Board Policy 9100 and Education Code Section 35143, the board must hold this organizational meeting. The district does not have any newly elected trustees or board members. Therefore, there is no need for the oath of office to be administered at this meeting. However, the Board of Education will be electing their new president, vice president, and clerk. So it is really important for all board members to be here for that particular meeting in December.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. So we wish all the board member to attend the December 9 the meeting. Next, let's go to,
Oh, do we need a?
do I have a motion to
Move
approve?
to approve.
I second.
Okay. Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member Book. A motion carry. (11B), I would like to turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Territory present the Major M contracts and the agreement report.
Yes, thank you, President Chang. I have Mr. Noland here to present to you the Measure M contracts and agreements reports for 25-26, which he mentioned earlier in his report, an update on Measure M.
So this contract with Collins Company is for a vision screen at Valentine Elementary School. The proposal amount includes 100% vision barrier with an option to reduce the cost for an 80% vision barrier. And it goes for approximately 700 lineal feet, bordering where the church parking lot and the Valentine Elementary playground currently sits.
Do you have a picture? It says there's digitally printed graphics on.
I do have a picture of the graphics and they do have renderings I could share with the board. I'm not sure if it was included.
Wasn't it in the photographs of the playground earlier or not?
No,
It
it
wasn't in that
wasn't,
one?
a part of that, but I do have those and I could share that.
So would you like them emailed to you or do you need to see them now?
I'd like to see them.
Oh, can you pull it up?
And it also says there's no warranty after 60 days. Is that standard
Yeah.
with this kind of, I mean, that seems like something that's going to have a lot of wear and tear.
It is pretty standard for something like that because it's an exposed in the element product where it's just vinyl that's covering the chain link fence. So the warranty really is an installation warranty that would cover a much shorter duration.
I guess I want to see the graphics because I feel like that is what makes it look bad quickly. If we're, if being honest about this.
The graphics that we're using are the Valentine logo that is on for the school.
But as it wears down, I'm saying instead of
Got
just
it.
the solid color, that takes wear and tear with the digital printing on top of the polyester is my point.
The proposal also allows us to make adjustments to those graphics with this amount. I don't have it
You can't
readily
bring it up,
available.
So do we want to just pending for this?
I mean, it's a
Cool.
$25,000 item. I think we should be really clear on what it is if we're talking. I mean, I'm sorry.
I can include like renderings and graphics on a future.
How soon this agreement we have to be signed?
There's really no urgency to this, so if we want to hold it for
Okay,
those-
so maybe,
Bring this one back with the graphic.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
December 9th.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah, December 9, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
don't go anywhere. Sorry.
And you did get clarification on the warranty? Did you? I did. sorry.
The warrant, it's only on installation, not the actual product is what you're saying.
Correct, because it's an exposed element that is susceptible to like vandalism, and depending on where it's installed and how public of an area, it's hard for the contractor to warranty.
And if it gets cut or something, I mean, there's no like replacing portions of it, right? I mean,
They can patch or replace portions. It won't look.
so if it's on a graphic and they have to patch it, it won't look so great.
We could do our best to like cut a section off.
Yeah.
The graphic itself is the Valentine logo. Right now, the way we have it, repeated every 50 feet. So we could replace like a section.
Who reviewed the graphic? Who reviewed this?
We don't just want it to be
Like
green.
the
so it
graphic, the
disappears.
graphic hasn't been
Why do
finalized
they
yet.
stare at
Once
a
we have
bright
this
blue wall
proposal,
every time they're out?
we'd be finalizing the graphic.
Okay, but the rendering, I mean, is that something that the principal looked at and you looked at?
We got the logo from the principal, but we were waiting for the approval of the contract to finalize.
Okay, to finalize it. All right.
What's the expected lifespan of something like this?
They said 8 to 10 years, providing no vandalism.
So you'll bring that back to December 9? Okay,
Mhm.
perfect. All right.
Okay, thank you. Next, go to the 11C. I would like to turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Territory to present the resolution number 7, adopting best value procurement procedure and guidance like pursuant to the Ed Code section 17406.
Thank you, President Chang. We have, again, CJ Noland here to present resolution number 7, which is adopting best value procurement procedures and guidelines pursuant to Ed Code section 17406. And we have also our legal counsel here, Sam Santana from DWK, to answer any questions that either CJ or myself cannot answer regarding any of the language in any of the documents that are being approved by the board this evening, here and after. So I will turn it over to CJ.
So essentially, this resolution identifies the criteria to be used when selecting a general contractor in the lease-leaseback method. A lot of the specific criteria for a project is designated to be determined in the RFP stage, but this is for the general contractor selection of the lease-leaseback process. The criteria often involves like financial conditions of the company, work experience, litigation, and other standard categories of that.
Any question?
Like licensing,
Correct.
workman's comp, all of that, insurance, all of that?
Yep, it includes all of that. And then as you'll see in the other 2 resolutions, it also includes some of their subcontractors as well.
And you have the pre-qual first anyway, that
Correct.
gets all of that kind of.
Correct. So the next 2 resolutions are for the pre-qualification criteria.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the resolution number 7, adopting a best value procurement procedure and guideline pursuant to the Ed Code section 17406?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member, Book.
Aye.
Motion carry. Next, 11D. I would like to turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Territory to present the resolution number 8, adopting the pre-qualification process for prime contractor pursuant to the Public Contract Code section 20111.6.
Thank you. This evening, we have before the Board of Education Resolution number 8, adopting pre-qualification process for prime contractors. And Mr. CJ Noland can give you an overview.
So essentially, this resolution will establish the pre-qualification criteria for our general contractors. That will be, it primarily consists of the standard DIR pre-qualification criteria. And it satisfies the public contract code, where if we have a contract in excess of $1 million, our contractors are required to be pre-qualified. Any question, comment?
If not, let's have a motion to approve the resolution number 8, adopting the pre-qualification process for prime contractor pursuant to Public Contract Code, Section 20111.6.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song.
Aye.
Mrs. Lam.
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Mrs. Gill.
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member Book. Motion carry. (11E), I would like to turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Territory to present the resolution number 9, adopting the pre-qualification process for MEP subcontractor pursuant to the Public Contract Code, Section 20111.6.
Thank you, President Chang. We have before you this evening resolution number 9, adopting pre-qualification process for MEP subcontractors. Mr. Nolan.
So this resolution is very similar to the establishing the pre-qualification criteria for the general contractors. MEP is for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Since those scopes in a project are usually very large, the state requires us to pre-qualify those subcontractors as well when their work consists of $1 million or more. And with the large projects that we have in phase 1, it is quite certain that our MEP or mechanical, electrical, plumbing contractors will have contracts in excess of $1 million.
Any question
Oh, no, sorry.
or comment? Yeah.
I move to approve.
Second.
Second, okay, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gill,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member Book. Motion carry.
Approval agreement F.
We struck F, so
What about turf?
superintendent,
For the turf.
Oh, we have.
no, we struck
We
it.
took that off the
Yeah.
agenda. It'll be back on the 9th.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, last one is board superintendent discussion item.
I do have something I'd like to say, and since this is November and we're approaching Thanksgiving. No, one, right? This is about you too.
Oh.
sir. Yeah.
Oh,
don't
then
wanna-
you can have more minutes than you two.
Exactly, thank
Yes,
you.
there you go.
Okay, you're gonna want to hear this. Okay,
Good night.
Good night. So
close attention.
I am very, very thankful for the Board of Education for your hard work and benevolence and volunteerism in our community and representing our students. Thank you to our student board member for showing up every single meeting on time, doing.
Did you tell him he's not getting paid? There is
I
no
did
pay.
tell him that.
Because he's thinking there might be something coming up. Yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. You got a lawyer in the audience who will represent you. And I'm very thankful for my outstanding, amazing executive team who works tirelessly. And of course, Jennifer Delatorre, who keeps me in the upright position and takes care of the board and every detail. And I also want to thank and express my sincerest gratitude for Jennifer taking care of Mrs. Ryan's birthday, because it was her birthday, November 14th. So happy birthday to Mrs. Ryan. And we have a birthday cake for you in my office. So
Is that why my
I
husband's
hope
here?
so I hope you're ready to eat cake, because we're gonna sing happy birthday to her in my office
Yeah.
and cut the cake. Is that okay?
Yes, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
But later we need to pick up who is a singer, yeah. Can
That's
have
the
the
student
one
board
like.
member's job. Student board member,
Yeah.
that's on you.
Okay, if we don't have anything, but I wish everyone have a very peaceful, safe, and happy and Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Meeting adjourned.
And just so you know, you're part of the executive team, so I included you in
Yeah,
there.